Well, after October 7, there was a lot of anti-Israel sentiment that went into anti-Semitism just outright. And ground zero for that were universities, Sydney University not least among them. For 2 months, there was a permanent pro-Palestinian encampment on the campus that meant Jewish students feared going to class. Many of them stayed home rather than going to lectures because they felt unsafe. So the university has spent $441,000 reviewing how they could do things differently to combat anti-Semitism. Gee, for $500,000, you'd think, wow, what could we do? Maybe don't allow an encampment on the student grounds, stopping students from getting to class. Anyway, they've come up with 5 revised policies, one of which is actually a pretty good idea. They've decided to end what's commonly known as lecture bashing. That's the practice, and I'll get Freya to explain it to us in a moment because you're more recently out of university than I am, Freya. But this is the practice of before or after a lecture, the lecturer gives an open forum to a student to then make a political speech on all manner of things, not necessarily related to the subject students have paid to sit in that lecture theatre and learn. And many of these student bashings or lecture bashings have been quite provocative.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of what happens. These socialist activists, it's always the same 10 or 15 socialists who come into these lectures and basically yell at you about whatever social justice cause is of the day. But obviously, last 18 months, it's all been about demonising Israel. And they will come into your lecture theatre whether or not the lecturer wants them to. In fact, check out this case where the lecturer did not want these protests to come in, yet they came in anyway.
If you're opposed to the genocide in Palestine, there's a rally on Thursday, 1 p.m. You can come along to that one.
Instead of letting these absolute idiots yell at their class about pro-Palestinian rallies, the lecturer, just started playing Beyonce to shut them up. I think that's an absolutely amazing response, really. But there is a deeper problem here that I don't think banning lecture bashing is really going to solve. And that is that our universities have been captured by radical activists. I went back to my alma mater a couple of weeks ago for an event where people got to put on VR headsets that depict October 7. And as I was leaving the event, this is the greeting I got from some very tolerant left-wing activists.
Shame! Shame on you! Oh, it's you! Off to Balmain, you
Wow, 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 wow. And then they proceeded to follow me and my dad. It was just insane. They were waiting out there for the full duration of the event, like 3 hours. I mean, the first thing we learn is none of these people have jobs or really care about their studies because they have all the time in the world to harass people. But it is just crazy. And so I don't know what it will take for the university to truly root out all these anti-Semitic activists, but it seriously is ground zero for the general collapse in social fabric that we're witnessing across the country.